What is up, guys? And we're in another episode of Church Rants because the new raid, Garden of Salvation's been driving me up a gosh dang wall. And I really hope you can tell I am talking with my teeth clenched. Back to normal. Anyways, this raid driving me nuts. I've spent so far about 30 hours trying to beat this gosh dang thing. I've done like the first 3 encounters, so if you're not familiar with this raid real quick, there's 4 encounters, 3 encounters, then you got the boss. I've beaten the first 3 encounters what feels like 12 gosh damn times trying to get this stupid divinity. Alright, you might be thinking, but church, that's why checkpoints exist. So let me just tell you about this divinity auto rifle. It's this new exotic trace rifle. It's a raid exotic, and it's kind of cool because you don't have to worry about RNG. Like, you do a quest, you end it with this raid, and you get the divinity. Only you have to do puzzles with it, and this is why it's been really frustrating. So you have to do, it's like 5 or 6 puzzles, something like that. The number isn't the point, but you have to like do all these like connecting tethers and stuff like that. And if you leave the raid, you either have to find somebody else that has done all of it that needs you to join in, which means they're probably struggling just as much as you were if they had someone leave. Or you just do the whole thing over fresh with a new group. And so I've been doing a lot of fresh runs of the Garden of Salvation raid this week, and oh my, it has been so toxic. Like, oh my, okay, alright. First things first. If you're gonna do a raid in the first couple of weeks, don't be lackadaisical about it. Like, I hate when I get in a group and some guy's like, yeah, dude, I'm totally high right now. Like, let's have a lot of fun. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, excuse my language, but like, I'm like, come on. We're in the first week. We're all not necessarily underpowered, but it's not like we're OP going back to Leviathan with like a recommended 340 power and we're all 900 plus. So it's like, whatever. Like, this is like a rather serious event. Like, people will try and get their first week clears for some reason they want to buy a jacket that's like, hey, I completed this raid in the first week and wear it. That's not so much my thing. I just want to do it because of the pride, like on Raid Report and whatever. But like, some people do this because it's really serious. So being that butt wipe, like hopping in and being like, yeah, dude, I'm so high right now. Like, or like, maybe we do it, maybe we don't. Let's just see what happens. Like, no, fool. I've been doing this damn thing for like 30 hours, and you want to come in here being like, we'll just see what happens. Like, oh my gosh. Ooh, I left some of those groups like before we even started when the guy was like, I'm so high, dude. I'm like, alright, I'm out. Like, this ain't my thing. Not because I have anything against people smoking weed or whatever. That's a wholly different other topic. But for the most part, I'm like, you know what? You do you, your body, your choice. Like, unless whatever you're picking to do is going to impact somebody else, and like for something that's out of their control because you're doing it, like whatever. Like, you do your own thing. But I was more like, I ain't down to be doing this thing that to me is like my dang like version of like the NBA playoffs. And you're high. Like, that's just not my thing. Alright, then rant part number 2. I got a couple things I absolutely have hated hearing this week. Now, one guy, I think he told this to me because he was trying to help me out, calm me down a little bit, and was maybe anticipating or sensing that I was probably a little too bummed out or mad about it than I really probably should have been. But other than that exact scenario, I hated it when people are like, it's just a game, church, calm down. Like, do you tell that to like NFL guys or like those kids in college, in high school, when they're like, their dream is to like play like athlete, like sports and like get paid for it because they want to be a professional athlete? No, people are always like, go for it. You can do it. Work hard. Shoot for the stars. And then I'm trying to do a similar thing with my YouTube. And I'm like, you know what? Part of getting a YouTube audience is actually being good. So I try to do things to make myself better, which is a lot of why I started that PvP Crucible video, because I knew if I forced myself to play more PvP, I would get better, and that could help to attract a wider audience, as well as make my like whole like, online presence just a little bit more significant. So I've been putting a lot of work into that. So I do the same thing with raids. Like, I know that 99.9% chance I will never, ever get a day 1 clear or a world's first clear. Definitely probably never a world's first clear, because you got those PC dudes that are absolutely like monsters at what they do with Destiny or whatever games it is that they play, that can just kick my butt. Like, we all got our console folks, we all got a lot of like excuses about why PC players are better, but you know what? They would probably still kick our butts on console. So we're just gonna leave it at that. So I try to do things like week 1 clears. Like, I have yet to get a first week clear. And today, as I'm recording, was my last shot I took at it. I spent like 6 hours maybe today trying to do it. I was like, you know what? My wife and I have today off. I'm spending way too much time into this. I just gotta go. Like, this is starting to make me be an irresponsible husband and dog parent or whatever. So I should probably get off. And then my wife was like, hey, make this video. So I guess there's that too. And so I started trying to, do YouTube stuff. And so it drives me nuts. And someone's like, calm down, church. It's just a game. I'm like, okay, to you, it's just a game, Mr. High Toker, mediocre, average opinion, like goals about beating this or whatever. For me, I'm like, okay, this is like leading to a possible income, which could lead into a potential career, which could lead into my wife and I not being homeless, which could lead into us being able to have kids, which could lead to us being able to pay for them to have college. Like, I'm just like way down the road trying to look at all this stuff. So stop telling me it's just a game, because to me, it's a form of turning something I enjoy doing into more than just a hobby. So anyways, that part's over. Whew, got a little worked up. Alright, well, that's the point of these church rants. They're very, very not formatted, like, at all. It's got about as much format as a toddler using Google Drive. But anyways, now we're going... I don't know if that was funny or not. It made me laugh, though. Anyways, thing number 2 that people have been telling me that really irks me with this particular this raid. You know what? This experience happens every time when I try for a first raid week. So it's probably not gonna be a one and done church rants video. Anyways, saying number 2. But church, why would you go for Divinity at the same time as your first clear? Just do one then the other, meaning do the first clear and then Divinity. I'm like, okay. A couple of reasons for that. First of all, it's not like doing the Divinity puzzles. In other words, that way when you beat the raid, you get the Divinity to drop. Makes the raid any harder. As far as I can tell from my 30 hours of playing, you don't get like some extra modifiers. Enemies like strength or damage output or whatever doesn't go up. There's no like alteration to an encounter that wouldn't occur if you didn't do these Divinity puzzles. So like, why would I put in tons and tons of effort just to get a clear if I could also get Divinity out of it at the same time? Like, there's gear I want out of this raid, but I can promise you, like, until I get Divinity done, it's gonna be on the back of my mind, trying to get this done, grinding my poor little anxiety-ridden soul into dust about trying to get this thing, because it's not RNG. Like, you guys might love it, but to me, it was such a good mental health, like barrier, like, I don't know, like, excuse, because, like, Thousand Voices, Taraba, Anarchy, it did not drive me insane if I couldn't get a first week clear, because I was like, I probably wouldn't have gotten the raid exotic anyways. It's RNG, like, who gets it on their first run? So, like, whatever. Not a huge deal. So, like, it was easier for me in my own crazy, messed up headspace to be like, blow them off. No big deal. Whereas the stupid Divinity is a damn quest. So all you gotta do is do a couple of quest steps, which I have a video about, and then you just do a raid and you do a bunch of puzzles while you're doing it, and then you guaranteed get it because it's a quest. And so it's driving my head nuts. Like, this is gonna sound really weird to you guys, and it's part of probably, I don't know, I'm probably just messed up a little bit. But I've actually, to some degree, had a slightly harder time falling asleep. And I'm not saying I stay awake all damn night being like, oh my god, Divinity, oh my god, no, that's not a thing. It's more like, go to bed and I'm like, son of a bitch. If only I was able to do whatever it was I messed up, or someone else didn't do whatever it was, or whatever. And then like 15, 20 minutes later than I normally do, I fall asleep. Like, that's more the level I'm talking about. And it just drives you nuts when people are like, oh, just split them up. I'm like, no, that's a waste of time. And what is my channel and my life about? Doing things efficiently. So if I can do both of them at the same time, then great. But one, I guess, could argue, well, Church, you had like 3 different boss checkpoints, because you did all like the raid up to the boss from 3 characters. So like, one could argue it probably would have been a lot more worth your time to just clear the thing this week and then go into it later. And that thought just occurred to me, so oh my gosh, maybe I should have done that and gotten the first week clear. Dang. Well, anyways, I didn't do that because I was like, no, I'm gonna get 2 for 1. Man, now I'm kicking myself because it just occurred to me that I probably should have just used the clear today with the dude who was like, yeah, I'll get you a clear, but we're not gonna do Divinity because we're gonna start all over on. He was like, we're gonna do it fresh, and I was like, but if we're doing it fresh, can we do Divinity? He's like, no, says it's faster, so we're not gonna worry about Divinity, but I'll help you out next week. And I was like, nah, I got a friend who's doing Divinity, so I'm gonna do that. And then 8 hours later, I still didn't have gosh dang Divinity. There you go. Oh well. Any hoozles, and then finally, is it just me or are people getting dumber? Like, that sounds really, really mean. But some things, you know, like you do a raid or an activity or you're just out and about and you're like, is that person serious right now? And like for example, with this, the puzzles with Divinity. Towards the end, there's one puzzle in particular you have to do. All it is you basically do connect the dots. So you line up, you have 2 equal columns of 3, so a total of 6 like little like platform circle things. And you just, you know, everyone's number assigned a number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're 1, you're always 1 at the very, you know, start of that whole puzzle sequence thing. If you're 3, then you're in the middle. If you're 6, then you're at the very end. Like, you know what I mean? And then, so you get all lined up, and when you start it, it kind of the program puzzle more or less like changes the lines that you have to actually stand in and moves your position around. So you'd still be like in the very first spot because like if you're number 1, you would still be at the part of the sequence at the very beginning. It just might not be on that exact spot you're standing when you start the sequence, if that makes sense. And so all you're doing is just kind of changing where you're standing just to keep the lines connecting, and you're just copying the image of lines on the floor below you. So it's not like it's super hard. You just kind of look at it like, oh, that's what I gotta do, and you just go, and you move, done. But for some reason, I've had grown adults. Well, I presume grown adults. It did not sound to me to be of the high school age. They sounded more like my age, like mid-20s, perhaps 30s, that were like, we have no idea what this is doing. Like, I had to use, like what the military likes to call Barney style. I'm like, okay, so you just stand here, and then when, like, if this happens, you do this. And if that happens, you do that. And we're just trying to connect the dots. And I'm, like, pulling out, like, teacher books 101 things that I imagine my wife knows because she's a licensed teacher. And I'm like, okay, let's relate this to something else that you're familiar with in the past raids, like the Last Wish puzzles, or like from Surochi, or the Kali doors, you know, in the damage phase. Like, so you know how those had numbers. They could change anywhere, so you didn't go in that exact same door every time, but you knew the order you were in. That's like the same thing, and people were like, oh my gosh, we don't get it. One guy thankfully got it at that point, but someone else is like, oh no, this still made, I was about to have a brain aneurysm. I was like, I'm 26, I'm about to die because I can't tell a person to copy a damn pattern on the floor below him or her. Don't want to be too obvious. It was a him. But anyways, like, ugh. So, and then like, people, oh, finally, last bit. The last thing that really grinds my gears. So when we get, you can do LFG or whatever, so people don't necessarily always know absolutely everyone that they're about to do this raid with. So you're kind of like, hey, I'm so-and-so, or you're just kind of chatting about past experiences. If you're me, you're like, oh my god, we better be able to do this because we're like kicking into 30 hours here or something. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, this raid's super easy. Like, no problem. We got you, eh? Like, I don't know why I went Canadian there for a second, but oh well. Anyways, and they're all like, yeah, we can do this, no problem. don't you know we're gonna go over and we'll do the thing and the other thing, and all we gotta do is this other thing, and everything's all good, eh? And I'm like, okay, great, fantastic. So I hope something. Oh, it's the rainbow at the end of my tunnel of work this week. Like, woohoo! It might actually be a thing. First encounter, 10 wipes. And I'm like, I should probably leave now, because I can't imagine a group that's struggling on this first thing to do it like in the second or third try, if not at least the first. It's gonna be able to actually beat the boss, considering we got a couple hours to go till we get to the boss. But then I'm like, you know what? That's just kind of a jerk move, so. And I gotta probably start learning to say no and take care of myself and my home needs more than I currently do. But that's a whole other different thing. But anyway, then we finally get to the boss. And you know what happened? You're at the boss fight. All these fools are, oh yeah, this is real easy. We're gonna take Paul Bunyan down by the river and just throw him in there, and this is gonna be real easy. It's easier than living in a van down by the river. I'm like, all right, this is fantastic. And then fail. Okay, all right, everyone, someone is learning. Fail. Then someone's like, I haven't had to do this part before. And we fail. And someone's like, I haven't actually done this before. I'm like, oh my, how many of you? And then by the end of it, you're just like, oh my god, am I the only one that's been even trying to do it? That's like the feeling. Oh, so that's right. So for the love of God, unless you actually can like have done it. So I'm over here thinking to myself, like, how do these people actually beat this particular raid to the point where they're just like, oh yeah, that was real easy, no problemo, we got you, bro. Like how? Like, were you just carried through? Did you not have to do something? Did you run on a warlock and just stand outside the whole time? Because that's the easiest thing that you could possibly be doing in this encounter if you use that particular strategy. Like, I don't know how you beat this thing, but you ain't playing like this is just real easy, because we can only... Okay, here's the other thing. I think I've only ever gotten to being able to do 2 damage phases once. I'm pretty sure, as far as like legitimate damage being dealt with, I've only gotten to a second damage phase once. I don't even think we were able to do damage. I think we had did a lot on the first time. We got to the second one, and somehow stuff just fell apart. So like, I haven't even gotten anywhere close. Like, I've got friends in my Discord and in my clan's Discord, like, oh yeah, we got them down to like 15% on like the 4th try. And I'm like, oh good, throw me in one of your teams. Like, oh sure, come on over. And we can't. No, maybe it's me. I have no idea. Yeah, maybe it's me. I feel like I'm doing my job and doing what I'm supposed to do and trying really hard. But hey, I don't know. Maybe this is all my fault. But anyways, guys, this whole raid, people's attitudes going into like raids, especially when they're relatively new. It's not like Leviathan where you're ridiculously overpowered or something. And people are like, oh yeah, I'm so high right now, or whatever. And just being like, it's not, it's just a game, church. I'm like, you know what? Everything people did before they got paid for it was just a hobby, or it's just a game. But you know what? All that backyard street playing, or backyard playing, like football, like throwing with your dad probably paid off for Mahomes if he had, I'm getting way too specific for my own good, but you guys get the point I'm going at, is people that are currently being paid to do stuff they like to do were not always paid to do the thing that they are currently being paid to do. At one point, it was more or less a hobby. It's just something they really like doing, and they had goals with it, so they're doing it, and that's what I'm trying to do. And see, I'm getting worked up again. I gotta wrap this up because it's getting way too long. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week. Take a chill pill, and happy grinding, y'all.